Hello everyone, this is Chelsea from Those With Words. Welcome to the channel. In this video, I'm going to share with you all of my completed journal pages of 2024. These are all the refills and notebooks that I used up this year. Here is one that's still in progress. This is the December daily that's ongoing at the moment, but the rest of them are pretty much done. This is about halfway and I'll explain why. But in this video, I just wanted to go through each and every single one, flip through it, talk about it for a little bit, and just share with you what I feel about all of these notebooks now that they are mostly finished. So let's go ahead and get started. The first two I have here are my travel journals for the year. So the one on the left is from March when I was in Hawaii. And then this one right here is later in the year in September when we went to the cities of Carmel and Monterey. This one is in the Traveler's Company Yudo insert. And then this one is the accordion insert, also from Traveler's Company. And as you can see here, I really enjoy decorating the covers of my notebooks with various stickers. Particularly for travel journaling, I like to put a few on the covers ahead of time, and then I like to gather stickers during my trip and then add them to the covers as well. So a couple of these were added beforehand, but this particular one is from a coffee shop. And these three, I believe, as well, for the Hawaii one, are from the trip itself. And then over here, this one, this stamp, is from Point Lobos. And this bread shop sticker, as well as this one. Yes, this was a coffee shop that we dropped by and really enjoyed. So really like adding those touches there. I am not going to go through every single page of these journals, but I did want to briefly flip through and reminisce a little bit. So as you can see here, the layout of this Yudo insert is really designed to track your baths or trips to bathhouses in Japan in particular. But I decided to repurpose it as a travel journal anyway and basically ignore the top part and just write all over it, sticker it. And that actually turned out okay. So it wasn't an issue at all for me. I do realize that it looks a little bit funny, but I really wanted to use this refill for something. So that is what I ended up doing. This journal has lots of ephemera, and I brought a watercolor kit with me. So I drew a ton of things as well. It was really fun. I got to meet up with some friends, explore different parts of Oahu, shop, definitely did some shopping, did lots of eating. And this is a fun one where I saved an entire brochure. One of the many reasons I love the regular size traveler's notebook is that you can fit standard size brochures like this in here really easily. And more ephemera. It was just a really fun time. The illustrations in here are definitely not perfect. This, for example, is supposed to be a night of fireworks. I definitely did not color the background dark enough to represent a night sky. But I can kind of tell what it is when I look back on it, and I can actually imagine the exact moment when this happened. So since this journal is just for me and my memory keeping, I'm okay with the imperfect drawings and what have you. Various fun things in here. I took a photo of the ocean once every single day that we were there. It was actually kind of cloudy and windy when we were there, from what I remember correctly. Some fun ephemera from the flight, and I have a couple pages left over at the end, but I decided not to force myself to write anything else because it felt pretty wrapped up by then. So that is the Hawaii travel journal. And then this one is from Carmel and Monterey. And this is where I really blended everything together from photos to writing to decorating, and I really loved combining all of those elements. So for example, here I drew one of our many delicious meals, and actually on this page as well. And then right here I have a sticker that I bought from that coffee shop. And I couldn't figure out where to put it, so I ended up taking the cup sleeve, making a little pocket out of it, and then just putting it right here, which I thought was pretty fun. And here's another example of a brochure. We went to the Monterey Bay Aquarium, a beautiful place, and we took lots of pictures. And what I basically did was I put the pictures inside the brochure and I folded everything in. And then I tipped it in so that I could still use this page to write about my visit to the aquarium. This is a really big sticker from one of the restaurants that we went to, so that was really cool and fun to pick up. And then on the other side, if I can get there, these photos are getting caught right here. This is the other side where I have some date stickers here too, but I also drew some scenery from Point Lobos, which is a beautiful state natural reserve that we stayed close to. This otter is from a brochure from Point Lobos. And then since there were so many beautiful photos of nature, I couldn't decide which ones to put in this journal. So I picked 6, and then I made these little accordions with pull-out tabs so that I can easily access that. And then that will give me more room to write, which was great. I tried to paint the sunset here from the window. We had a beautiful dinner reservation at the hotel, and we got to see, well, a sliver of a sunset out the window. It was quite cloudy as well when we were here. And on the way home, we went to this coffee shop and picked up a little sticker, so I put that there. So this was such a fun journal to work in, and I truly enjoyed filling this up with drawings, writing, and ephemera. And I think that's basically how I like to travel journal now. It's just a combination of everything. And I really like watercoloring when I travel and when I get home. Just kind of adding little doodles here and there, which is not something I always used to do with travel journaling. So that is a fun discovery for me this year. So those are my 2 completed travel journals for the year. These 2 are a little bit different. These are my 2 video game journals that I worked on this year. So on the left side, this is the Yamamoto paper refill. So this is actually a beautiful cream paper, and as you can see, this is a Traveler's Company refill. It is pretty much the same height, but width-wise, it is not as wide. So it's just skinnier, and if you want to use this for lists, I heard it's really great for just writing down to-dos and list making in general. For me, I decided to use it as a video game journal for Baldur's Gate 3, which I played this year. And I don't know, something about this map layout really reminded me of all the traversing in video games that you typically do, so that's why I chose it for this particular game. And I have video game journaled before for a different series, but basically I usually like to have a list of characters as well as an in-game log. In-game log is just a fancy word of me writing down my reactions to everything, whether it's to different quests, the main storyline, all kinds of reveals and things like that. So that is what I like to write about when I create a video game journal. I don't have my second character in here that I started a second playthrough with, but this is my first character, and I wrote down their class and everything personality-wise, how I wanted to roleplay this character. And then here are some of the other, I'm trying to flip through quickly in case you don't want spoilers, but These are like the companion characters, your party members that you run into. And I wrote about their quests, what I decided on, and how their stories played out. And then in this in-game log is where I have all my reactions to various things and basically tracking how I approach the game. And then this is also where I get to use a lot of the decorative elements because it's fun. Why not? So that is how I approached it. And then this is the epilogue for the first playthrough. And then here are some notes for the second playthrough, which I haven't finished yet, but I am trying to make different choices. So it's still ongoing, but I think for this particular year, I am mostly done with this journal. And whenever it is that I get back to my second playthrough, I will fill out the rest of it. In a very similar vein, this is a Traveler's Company Traveler's Train refill, and I decorated it with some stickers that I have. And this particular journal is for Dragon Age the Veilguard. I am a huge fan of the Dragon Age series in general, so I decided to make a journal for this as well. And here, since I was keeping up with some pre-release stuff, there was like a podcast and a couple other things. So I wrote some notes about that and my thoughts. And some initial thoughts as well as the trailers came out and everything. You know, what were my thoughts then? All the companions here again, and my notes and thoughts about them. And it's a very similar approach to what I did for Baldur's Gate. And here is a playthrough setup. So this is the character that I played and who I decided to romance as that character. And here's another version of the in-game log. Again, very similar. Lots of decoration elements around the sides, but still plenty of room to write about just my reactions to the story and how everything unfolded. So here is a first playthrough finished. And this is just a really dorky photo of me. Oh my gosh, I should have covered that up. That's kind of embarrassing. So don't look at that too much. But anyways, those are my two video game journals, and it's really fun to make these. I enjoy them a lot, and I really like working on them. I don't always have them with me when I play the video games. Sometimes I just take notes on my phone, and then I come back to these later to write in them. But nonetheless, it's a really fun way for me to log my playthroughs, and it's really fun to reread these later on to see what my impressions were. So those are my two relatively complete video game journals for the year. And then the rest of the journals, so here's one from January through March, April through July. Here's my December daily. These are all memory keeping journals. This is from the San Francisco Pen Show, so I basically count this as August, even though the show itself was towards the end of the month. And then this one currently houses my September through December memory keeping journal before I went into December daily, really. So these are all of the memory keeping journals that I have been working on this year. So the funny thing is, after I finished these two, I decided, I think I mentioned this in a mid-year Techokaige video as well, if I remember correctly, but basically after I finished through July, I said, keeping up with this kind of memory keeping in a separate Traveler's Notebook refill is a little much for me. And because of that, I said, I'm not going to do this anymore. I am just going to approach it separately and only journal about very specific events, like the San Francisco Pen Show. But afterwards, I decided that I really missed Traveler's Notebook. Surprise, surprise. This is a running theme. So there is that journal. And all throughout the summer, I had some really fun memories in here. I pasted a lot of ephemera in this journal, it looks like. And there were times when I included some drawings in here. I have some spreads bookmarked to show you, so I'm just trying to reach for those. And this is logging some Happy Mail, and oh, this meal was actually really good. This is one of my favorite local restaurants. And then I went cafe journaling, so I decided to do a little fold out here with the photo. That's fun. And here is some more fun ephemera. I actually just took the entire hot sauce packaging, or one side of it at least, and I put it into this journal. And this is when we rearranged the living room layout, so I decided to draw that. Here is some more ephemera. This is from a menu, restaurant menu, I think. And don't worry, this was like a to-go menu, so I didn't, just take the menu inside the restaurant and rip it up. This was from a brochure that they have. And then some Kit Kat packaging right there. A postcard. I think I definitely tipped in a lot of postcards that I received from friends throughout the year. And yeah, just kind of different things there. So these two kind of encapsulated basically the first half of the year. And then I had this separate notebook. So this is the Little Lou refill in collaboration with Pinky Elephant. So this was the San Francisco exclusive refill. And I thought this would be a perfect way to really memory keep the actual pen show and everything that happened there. So I have lots of pictures with friends, what we ate, pen show day 1, getting the plotter corners customized, taking lots of pictures with people, talking about what I bought at the pen show, and including my name tag. And then this is basically day 2, more of the same thing here. Lots of pictures with friends. Another name tag here. I actually didn't end up going to the 3rd day this time. Something I'm really glad that I did in this refill is I decided to put all of the stamps and stickers I collected from the show directly into this refill instead of saving it for something else. So I didn't want to hoard them. I wrote about that all in one place so I don't hoard them. So everything from here, like this was a 3-layer stamp from Pinky Elephant, which is so cool. And I ended up just sticking that in here. They had a really cute memo pad that's like toast shaped. Can you see that? It's like a little piece of toast and you could stamp on there, which was so cute. And these are the show exclusive stamps from Tokubetsu Memory and 4 Legs. Stickers from friends, and then just various notes from friends. And I talked about what I purchased. I wanted to be honest. And then I ended it with this free sticker from Rickshaw. And that marks the halfway point. A little past the halfway point of this notebook, and I figured I could use the other half for next year's pen show. So I will make a new title or break page that says SF Pen Show 2025, and I will journal more about it in this later half of the journal. So that is the August memory keeping, even though it really encapsulates just a couple days at the end. And then that's where I was like, I really miss working in the traveler's notebook. And so I dug out this Starbucks Reserve lined insert, decorated it with some fun stickers, and I put just a chock full of everything in there. So this is quite the chunky refill, and I have really enjoyed filling this in. This is a lined refill, which I chose this one specifically because I figured, oh, it's just a line refill. I'm probably not going to get into memory keeping in here too much, right? But I actually didn't mind the lines as much as I thought I would. So that was kind of a nice surprise. This is a spread from Pelican Hub. And I have some fun Trader Joe's sticker spreads in here. So yeah, I really didn't mind the lines at all when I was working in here, which kind of surprised me because I thought I totally would at first. I believe I have a journal with me video for this particular spread that I worked on when I was at a cafe, so that was really fun. And this is a really fun one as well. I keep saying the word fun. This brochure tip-in, which apparently was one of my favorite things to do this year. This encapsulates my experience when I went to the Travelers Company road trip event in San Francisco. And this entire brochure was so beautiful. I didn't want to cover any of it up, so I just put it here, and then I just stuck these two photos in here. Here are some more photos and me writing about the whole experience. This is about Pokemon trading card game Pocket, which is a mobile game. I am usually not into mobile games, but I got into this one for some reason. My partner and I have been playing and just collecting fun cards. So I decided to put the photo of, I think this is one of the rarest cards in the game, and I happened to draw it at one point. So I took a screenshot and I printed it and I put it on this memo pad for the memories. This is something I shared recently on this channel. This is from the Superior Labor sample sale. I painted the two items I got and made this whole spread. I really like how this turned out. Here are some more Trader Joe's stickers. Every time they had seasonal stickers in the fall, apparently I went ahead and got them and journaled with them. And I think there are two more spreads to show you. Here are just some photos to encapsulate end of year memories. Here's our little tree. Here's another rare card that I got, so I'm still playing, and some fun desserts through the months. And this is something that I made recently. It's just a 2025 Techokaigi spread, thinking about what I'm going to use next year. I do have a video on that as well. And basically just talking about how I'm paring down even more for next year. And even though I will miss my traveler's notebooks, they definitely will probably be a bonus project next year. I just don't think I'm going to have a ton of extra time, as my life will change quite a bit. There are still some memo pads and other papers in this folder, and I think there's still like PT tapes and washi tapes in here too, so I do have to clear that out. But I was thoroughly enjoying being in this Kurashiki cover. I was supposed to switch out my traveler's notebook covers more this year, but that didn't really quite happen. I just ended up sticking to the ones I really liked this year anyway. But yeah, so this I ended up really filling to the brim. And that brings us to the final notebook that I'm going to talk about. This is the December daily project that I'm working in. And you have seen this journal a couple of times on this channel before, as I'm working through it, as I'm setting it up, etc. And as I'm recording this video, December is quite not over yet. So there are still some things that I haven't printed. I have a chocolate advent calendar that I'm doing this year, and I am tracking the chocolates, but the chocolates themselves I haven't really printed yet. So that I have to get done at some point. And I pre-decorated pretty much all the way till the end of this month. We shall see if I make it all the way here in terms of actually writing in it, but I finished decorating. So more or less this journal is done, except obviously, you know, as the days come, I will write in them. And here's something really fun that I wanted to show you at the end of this journal. This is the back cover of the notebook, and I put this Trader Joe's Santa, sort of like a little dress up thing. So this was at the back of an advent calendar at Trader Joe's, and basically it's like you can dress up the Santa with different outfits, and there's a hat. I did washi tape this to the back because otherwise this outfit would just like fall off. And then it came with 2 other outfits, which again, I washi taped together for the sake of keeping them together, but this is like a formal Santa outfit. So here's a little hat and like a suit. And then here's the, you know, your usual Santa outfit with the hat and the usual outfit. I just thought this was so charming, and my partner actually suggested, why don't you put this in your journal? Don't you have like a December specific journal? I was like, okay, it's in a small passport size, but I will somehow make it work. So I made a pocket right here, and I am sticking these in here. It's a little bit of a stretch, as you can see. So when I close the journal, Santa's hand is sticking out of the December daily journal, and then this giant sack that he has full of presents is also sticking out of the notebook. But I don't know, I feel like that's sort of part of the charm of December daily this year, is just going all out with all the holiday stuff. So yeah, just really funny little thing that was very charming. I just wanted to show you how that looks like in the back, because I don't think I've shared this before on my channel. So that is the December daily project, which is the final memory keeping notebook of 2024. So all in all, I have all of these memory keeping notebooks. And then I have my 2 travel journals. And then I also have my 2 video game journals. So it has been a very fruitful journaling year. I don't know that it's gonna look like this in 2025, but that's okay. I really enjoyed memory keeping and journaling about all kinds of stuff this year, from games to my trips to just everyday life. And I really love looking back on the year with a pile of completed journals like this. It really makes me feel like even though I live a relatively quiet and uneventful life, this is still worth documenting. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully I will be able to journal, maybe not as much, but in just as a meaningful way next year in 2025. And yeah, I hope you liked looking through the different pages with me and looking through the different elements and reminiscing with me a little bit about this year. Thank you so much for being here. I hope to see you next time. Take care. Bye.